And we're back in our business days. Kabelo Khumalo, the writer behind what we saw playing out as PhD Gate this week, joins us with greater perspective on this expose. Kabelo, thank you so much for your time. It's always a pleasure.
Thank you for having me, and greetings to your viewers at home.
All right, Kabelo, maybe we can start off by speaking about, this story landing on your lap and you running it and breaking it. Just talk to us about, the revelations that came to you that then led to all of it.
All right, I would constrain myself to certain things and leave out some because there's a legal threat, as you will know. But like any other story of this nature, we got a tip-off that this lady, Ms. Thabi Leoka, does not have a PhD as she has claimed from 2008. But obviously that is not enough for a journalist to rely on. It's just a tip-off which we verified, via the university and other people who knew of this thing. So that's how the story really came about. It began as a tip-off, but which we confirmed later on, as alluded to in the numerous stories we have read this week, that indeed the university does not have, this is the London School of Economics, that does not have a record of either a Thabi or a Thabi Leoka having gotten a PhD in economics from the institution.
So, of course, this was followed through by a radio interview that Thabi Leoka then took with a Prime Media. And in there, I guess the accusation of Business Day not doing a due diligence, not speaking to the individual before running with the story came up. And I'm keen to get your response to this. I think it's an important part of the story.
No, that was a blatant lie. In fact, I was surprised when I heard it as well on 702. We spoke on the phone for 27 minutes exactly. I gave her a full right of reply. She denied all allegations and insisted that she does possess this PhD. And astonishingly, in my conversation with her, she never even raised the issue of her having changed names. Which we confirmed later that indeed she changed names later on in life, I think around 2018, from Thabi to Thabi. But as the facts have proven, even the name change does not change the fact that there's no PhD awarded either to a Thabi Leoka or a Thabi. It does not exist under those names, unless there's a third name that she might produce. I don't know.
So, of course, we've dubbed this week Kabelo PhD Gate because it does speak to many other issues other than, I guess, an individual misrepresenting their qualifications here. Just speak to us about that and, what the PhD Gate actually means for issues of governance, but even of ethics in South Africa.
It has exposed really a lapse in particularly in corporate South Africa. I mean, we ran a story today where Netcare really, a listed company, admits that the verification report they conducted before appointing her to the board in late 2021 did indicate that the highest qualification this person has is a master's, and but her CV still listed the PhD, and they went on to introduce her to the public or to announce their appointment, parading her as a Dr. Leoka, who has a PhD in economics. We don't know why would companies do this, but it shows that there's some serious governance lapses in corporate South Africa, really, when you fail to do a basic due diligence on people who occupy very strategic positions on the board. In fact, it's scary. You get to ask yourself, is this an isolated incident? Or there's plenty of this. I suspect there's plenty of this that will come out in the weeks and months ahead, right?
I imagine that initially, Kabelo, this was a difficult story to run, and I'm wondering if you've also seen possibly the accusations of you gunning for the individual, which I think was initially maybe a line of defense from certain specific people, and what that might also mean for, the ability for journalists to be able to break such stories and hold, society accountable, because that's what we're here to do.
No. It comes with the business, really. If you are in this industry, such things will happen. There are people who are put on a pedestal, publicly, and when you expose their flaws, You know, it was not even personally, to be frank with you, it was not an easy story to write because I personally looked up to Thabi as this foremost economic thinker in the country, you know, and it was a disturbing story, but we also owe a duty to society to expose wrongdoing wherever it happens, and there must not be any holy cows, really.
Of course, the interesting part about this also, Kabelo, is the fact that, Thabi Leoka does possess the MSc from London School of Economics. I think that's been confirmed. That isn't an issue. The issue also isn't a matter of competence. I don't think anybody's doubting a competence here. The issue here is the misrepresentation of qualifications, and that's the ethical issue here, and that's the issue, that I think might be missed in all of it being scandalized here. That's really where the individual has gone wrong.
Yes, I mean, for 15 years, if you think about it, this is a 15-year lie. She claims the PhD emanates from 2008. So it's scandalous. Yeah, like I said, nobody can question her intelligence, but no, ethics, integrity matters at the end of the day, or at least it should. It should matter, and people should not. I mean, in my initial story, I alluded to a court judgment, a labor court judgment last year, where the judge really went and said this cannot be condoned in South Africa because it has the potential to distort even the labor market itself, where people who are more deserving will be overlooked based on the fact that you think a Kabelo Khumalo has a PhD and you overlook a master's person in favor of a PhD person. Naturally, you know the highest qualification you have vis-a-vis your opponents when you go for job interviews will put you in a good stead. So it's not a small lie. It's a fundamental lie that a person would have told for 15 years.
And of course, as we sit here in this moment, there's been no further conversations between yourself and Thabi Leoka, or Business Day rather, and Thabi Leoka, and also no production of a PhD or a thesis or anything. I think it's an important thing to verify every day. I think we sit at the edge of our seats hoping that, something will emerge here.
Yeah, I know. I mean, even in my own inner circle, some are even praying that, she will produce this PhD. I'm not holding my breath. As it is, the university, I don't know what more evidence do people want. The university she claims she got this PhD for says we don't have such a person who have awarded a PhD. I mean, if you know how institutions of learning work, particularly as prestigious as the London School of Economics, which has produced 38 head of states in its history, maybe then they would have lost a PhD, which will be an indictment on them to lose the records of their graduates. So it's so to those who are holding their breath, I'll keep them in my prayers. There is no PhD that will be produced in the near future.
Before I let you go, Kabelo, you did mention that legal action has been, threatened here. Have you heard anything, or are you anticipating that may come to fruition?
I have not seen anything so far, but yes, such things you must expect because she has put herself in a corner publicly that legal action will come. Let's see. We will welcome it and will defend our position. I'll find it strange that if she proceeds along those lines, but I guess with her, anything is possible at this stage.
Well, Kabelo, it's quite a start to a year. Thank you so much for unpacking this for us. One of those revelations that we possibly will never forget. Thank you so much. And that was Companies and Markets Editor for Business A Day, Kabelo Khumalo.